Hello, this is how to build KDE apps in the package format AppImage. So AppImage, appimage.org. These are two important quotes in here. As a user, I want to download a Linux application similarly to how I would download a Windows application. And then as an upstream, as an application creator, I want to create just one binary package that will run on all Linux desktop AMD 64 computers. This is the wiki page. The binary packages for AppImage are usually just one file, usually have the extension .appimage, and in order to run them on your computer, on your Linux AMD 64 desktop operating system, you would make this, you would download the AppImage file from the internet, hopefully from the upstream, so from the project that creates the graphical user interface application. And then you would chmod the AppImage file to be executable, so chmod u plus x or just plus x. And then you can double click on the AppImage file or run it from the terminal. Now we want to see how KDE repositories and projects are packaged as app images. For that, I have installed KDE Builder. I am building the KDE text editor Kate. We can see that Kate depends on 45 other modules. Most of them are from the KDE community, such as KDE Frameworks version 6. But Kate also depends on third-party libraries. So all of these are going to get bundled together without any additional file. There's no additional app image runtime. There's just one file. Everything's contained in just one file, the app image file. So Kate and all of its plugins, all of its libraries, all of its K-parts, all of its KIO extensions, all of its KDE frameworks, etc. Everything in a single file, which is a compressed file with extension AppImage. I have searched on Google the KDE Kate, the text editor. It has an official website, kate-editor.org. This big green button, get it. And in here we can see that for Linux, we can get it from where we would expect, which is binary packages from your Linux operating system, but also FlatHub as a Flatpak package, and from the Snap store. But there's also the possibility of downloading really fresh binary built nightly from the master branch of the Kate Git repository as a single file in app image format. We're interested in this. So it's 3 days behind, 11th of May. But again, it's just one file, 204 megabytes, which is compressed. You just download it and run it. Let's actually download it and see how it looks like. This is how it looks like. I have selected the directory, so Kate master linux gcc x86-64.appimage. This is where I have downloaded the file. Let's look at the file. It was just freshly downloaded using Firefox, which means it will not have the executable chmod bit set. We can actually check this. ls-la. It's going to not have the X bit set, neither for user, group, or others. We can confirm that it's an app image using the Linux command line file. It says that it's an Linux executable 64-bit x86 64. So it just says that it's an executable. It doesn't say that it's an AppImage, which is not great. Files should know that it's an AppImage. So this is a feature request for the Linux command line file. Okay, so let's make it executable. You can either right-click Properties, Permissions, and click on the Execute, or you could do it from the command line in various ways. Make it executable for everybody, or make it executable just for the current user. Let's make it executable just for the user. So now the X bit is set for the first RWX pair. So just for the user that is owner, which in this case is the user N. And now we can start the AppImage either from the command line / and then the file name, so with a relative path to the current directory, or you could just double click on it and it starts. Okay, so we saw how to get the Kate nightly AppImage file, how to download it, make it executable, and run it. We managed to build Kate from source, from the Git master branch of many KDE Git repositories, Kate, key user feedback, Kate text editor, etc. And now let's look at how this AppImage file is created. For that, we're going to look in the Git repository of Kate. That's KDE invent Kate. The only mention of AppImage inside of this Git repository is inside the file gitlab-ci.yml, the hidden file, and on the final line. So in here it says that as part of the GitLab CI, the continuous integration, it's going to also include this file from the KDE Git repository sysadmin ci-utilities, the file craft-appimage-qt6.yml. No other mention is inside the Kate Git repository about how to build Kate as an AppImage. But we see this important string here, which is Craft. This is a KDE package, KDE Craft, which is a build framework that is being used in order to build, in this case, Kate for Windows as a Metro Store application, or Mac OS, or two CPU architectures for Mac OS. KDE Craft is also used for building Android packages. But KDE Kate being a Qt widgets application, not a QML application, probably doesn't work great on Android. So we're at the file .gitlab-ci.yml in the KDE Git repository Kate. Last line takes us to another KDE Git repository, sysadmin CI utilities, which is this one, and then GitLab templates and craft AppImage Qt6, which is this one, which says that it includes the Craft Linux base. There's a configuration file that makes KDE Craft use Qt6. And then additional housekeeping for GitLab CI tasks, how to gather build artifacts and the build logs. But we have a pretty clear idea what's happening there. The KDE Craft build framework is being used. Qt 6 is being used on Linux. Let's see how that works. I have searched on Google KDE Wiki Craft. Takes us to the correct page, which is https://community.kde.org/craft. So Craft is a build system, can be installed on Linux, and we're going to do just that. I'm not sure if these instructions are up to date, but we're going to improve them if they don't work. So it says on Ubuntu, I'm using the Linux operating system Ubuntu 25.04, which is pretty recent. So let's do what it says in here. Okay, so it says that it's going to install a number of packages. For packages, the rest have already been installed. And they're at the newest version. Okay. Next up, we're going to create a directory under the home directory. So ~/craft root, uppercase C, uppercase R. We're going to use wget to download from the KDE Craft Git repository. This is actually to KDE Git repositories, invent.kde.org/packaging craft, and the KDE Craft blueprints. This Git repository, invent.kde.org/packaging/craft, has a mirror on GitHub, and we're going to use that mirror. Maybe because, I don't know, the GitHub has a better uptime than KDE Invent. I'm not sure exactly why we're using GitHub in here to download a file. So let's run the command line that installs Craft into the directory ~/craft root. It asks some questions. I'm going to keep the defaults. Do you want to enable the support for colored logs? Default is yes. Okay, so what we see here is the KDE build framework Craft downloading many pre-built binary archives and installing them into ~/craft root. Hundreds of binary packages will be downloaded, extracted, and a file structure like this, as you would expect if you have used KDE Craft before, is going to be created. There's going to be a bin directory with executables. So this is similar to a Linux operating system. There's a lib directory with .so files, a share directory, so similar to what you would see under /usr or /usr/local. Inside of download, there will be the files that are being downloaded and also the Git repositories that are being cloned. Okay, so it has installed many packages for Python, and it's also shipping a special version of Python. we can see that inside tilde/craft there's a directory build Python modules. Okay, the installation has finished successfully. Now we should do the second part, which is actually using KDE Craft. Each time you want to use, even if you restart the computer, first of all you want to enter the Craft environment, which will set some environment variables. We'll enter, I don't know, a Python VM or something. Let's do that. We have in here a confirmation of some of the important configurations for KDE Craft. And then we're inside the Craft prompt. In here, we'll need to build the AppImage package for Kate. The very first thing that we want to do is to actually build Kate, which will download as much as possible pre-built archives with all of the dependencies of Kate. If such a pre-built archive does not exist, the pre-built archives are being downloaded from the KDE Craft cache. If the KDE Craft cache does not contain a pre-built archive, a source code tarball for that package is going to be downloaded and built for Linux, which if it's using GNU toolset, toolchain, it will do /configure make install. If it's using CMake for building, it's going to do CMake configure step and then CMake build and CMake install. Okay, LLVM, ECM, the KDE framework, many other KDE frameworks, Windows System, Doc Tools, and other libraries that are required by KDE frameworks such as Intel Tool and ShareMime Info, Perl modules, libarchive, Pulse Audio. Pulse Audio seems that was not found as precompiled inside the KDE Craft cache, so it's going to be configured and built. So that was fast. Now audio codecs, lame opos, dv1d, libva, font libraries, x264, more audio video codecs, vdpau, AMF, NVIDIA codecs, FFmpeg. It's also downloading most of the Qt 6 framework, including Qt Speech. More KDE frameworks, KJob widgets, KItem views, KColor scheme, KIcon themes, KGlobal Excel. Dictionaries, Hanspell spelling, KText widgets, GPG, error, Qt 6, Qt 5 compatibility, Cyrus. So this is crypto, QCA, AS1, TLS, and TB. Open LDAP for the directory services querying. More security, GNU PG, KWallet, KIO, which is the input-output framework for copying files and accessing remote files. KNew stuff with its dependencies. Kparts, which is a technology for having, for instance, inside of a shell graphical user interface application such as Conqueror, you could have a image displaying part or an HTML displaying part or a PDF editing part. Ktext editor, which is the bread and butter of Kate. KDE utils, and this is markdown part. And markdown part is probably not part of the cache and should be. Okay, kpty, and we're at console. Console is required by Kate because Kate has a tool window where it shows a terminal. It has finished building and installing console. Okay, let's scroll down. And now it's building Kate. This should be the final step of downloading pre-built tarballs, downloading source code tarballs, and compiling source code tarballs. 630 C++ translation units and other code generation steps. While Kate is building, we should go back to the wiki page, not of KDE Craft on Linux, but for KDE Craft. And in here, we see how KDE Craft works. So KDE Craft has some recipes. It knows how to build some KDE software. You could use craft ---- search to find the name of that package, to see, for instance, if Kate is available as a package, as a craft recipe, if kwrite is available, if kcalc is available, etc. This is the most important part where you go craft without any parameters except the package name. We just did that, craft space Kate. It does everything needed to, as fast as possible, build Kate from a source code release tarball. We could uninstall a package, and there's CS and CB, which are probably aliases, to change directory to the directory where the source code tarball was unpacked or where the Git repository was cloned. And then there's a separate build directory because we're using CMake out of 3 builds, so we're not putting inside the Git work directory where we git clone the KDE repository. We're not building source in there to create build artifacts. Okay, and we're then at this important step, which says creating an installer. Based on the operating system, different type of packages will be built. For Windows, it will create an NSIS installer.exe file. On macOS, it's going to create a DMG bundle. And on Linux, it's going to create what we're after, which is an AppImage. So what we actually want to do here is to package Kate. But let's try to run Kate first. Let's see how we do that. It seems that when we have entered the craft environment in this read, evaluate, print loop with this prompt craft colon, the path environment variable has been changed and other environment variables, which makes it such that Kate that is built at this step takes priority over other Kates that are available on my machine. So I have Kate installed from the Linux operating system, binary packages, Kubuntu 2504, the package, which resides in /usr/bin/Kate. Then there's this one installed using craft in /craft root /bin/Kate. And then we have a nightly AppImage in a certain directory for Kate. So we can just run Kate and the correct process will be started. We can also confirm that we did what we should, which is ls off grep Kate. And we want to pipe everything, standard output and standard error, to a text file. Okay, and now we can open that file. Let's see if we can use the same Kate. Kate ~a.txt. Okay, so it's the process starts from the correct ELF executable file, which is ~craft root /bin/Kate. And then let's see if the SO files that are loaded inside the process are the correct ones. The KDE frameworks come from ~craft root /plugin/kf6. Seems okay. Fonts come from /usr/share/fonts. There's a font config cache inside ~craft root /home and then the username. Many SO files in ~craft root /plugin/kf6. The Qt libraries are all at version 6.8.3 and come from ~craft root /lib. This also the libraries that we've installed. So we have installed some binary packages using apt install before installing KDE Craft. So these are related to the X windowing system, and this the SO files for that are being from /usr/lib. KDE Craft is not actually downloading X bindings and X libraries. But all of the rest, it is being downloaded. So the ogg, vorbis, sound file, dbus, pulse audio, OpenSSL, Broadly compression, PCRE, etc. Okay, so the conclusion is the process that we see here, this instance of KDE Kate, is actually running from ~craft root /bin/Kate, was built using KDE Craft, and it's loading the correct files from the correct directories. So .so files from ~craft root /lib, and very low level SO files which sit under Qt6. Half of them come from KDE Craft, iconv, compression, XML, etc. But some do come from /usr/lib, such as libmount, libffi, the GNU toolchain libraries. So we have proved that we could build correctly Kate using KDE Craft. the final step is going to be to create the package, the AppImage package. So let's do that. Craft -- package 8. Okay. It says that we would need to run an additional command line, craft linux deploy. Linux deploy is a tool related to Qt, related to AppImage. Linux deploy plugin Qt. Linux deploy plugin AppImage. And Linux deploy. And now we should try again, craft -- package Kate. It's looking at stripped debug symbols. It's creating directories and copying files over. As we saw, the nightly app image is large, almost more than 200 megabytes in size. And I'm not sure if this app image contains debug symbols, if the executables have been stripped, if the binaries have been built using rel with debinfo or debug cmake build configuration. So the resulting size of the app image that we're creating now might be different from these 204 megabytes. It also seems to be packaging Qt 5 libraries. Or maybe it's just the Qt 5 compat for QML6, for Qt 6. Okay, so it has copied very many files. And then it's going to create a appdir, because AppImage is about a directory where there's the metadata and the graphical user interface application entry point executable plus all of its dependencies. And additional files like images and maybe, I don't know, fonts, cursors, everything else that's required by such that the AppImage runs correctly on a variety of Linux desktop operating systems. Okay, so let's see what it says. There's an AppImage tool. This sync is used for creating binary deltas. So if you're building Kate app images today and tomorrow with Z-Sync, there will be inside app image there's support such that if you have the yesterday's app image installed and if you're opting into the update system, that's available for app image. App image, when it updates itself, instead of downloading the next app image, the newer app image, which is going to be again 200 megabytes in size, can download just the difference between the previous version of the app image and the next version of the app image, so just the delta. But it says that Z-Sync is not installed. Okay. And it's going to have an icon. It's going to use the upstream file for metadata. It's going to look at the licensing for various files. Once the app directory is ready, has enough files in there, there's a compression step, says generating squashfs. It's using app images that are being downloaded, made executable, and run. Then it's going to compress squashfs file system using Z standard. There's a checksum for the file. There's a ELF header on the file such that when we run file, the Linux command, and then the AppImage file name is going to say that it's an ELF, not a Z standard archive that has inside the squashfs file system. Okay, and now it says that the AppImage was created successfully, and it should be great if we would advertise that there exists this AppImage inside the centralized directory or app store for AppImage, which is called AppImage Hub. And the final output is inside /craft root tmp directory. Let's look there. /craft root, temporary directory. There's just one file here. It's already executable. We can already run it. And it's a similar size as the file that we have downloaded from the internet recently. The name is different. This one says Git master because probably it's built from the Git master branch, whereas the one that we have just created says K2504.1, which is the name of a KDE release. Let's find the KDE Kate release version 25.04.1. On Google, I searched KDE Gear release and says kde.org announcements. Let's go there. We can see that the newest release of KDE Gear is 25.04.1, which is exactly our version. And there's a source info page. And in here we can search for Kate. And this is the download that we're after, the source code tarball for the release of KDE Gear, which contains Kate with version 25.04.1. It's available as a tar.xz archive. That's what KDE Craft has downloaded, this tar.xz file. It has extracted it and then built it from source. And then we have created an app image out of the build artifacts. Next up, we want to look at the possible versions with KDE Craft. When we search for a package, it's going to tell us what versions does KDE Craft know to build of a given package. Okay, so says KDE Craft does know how to build and package Kate, and it does it for version 25 04.1, but it can do it also for other versions. For the previous 1, 2, 3, 4 releases, and for the Git master branch. So if you want to create a AppImage that's like this with fresh source code from Git master branch, and the AppImage is going to be named Kate-master, what we want to do is to switch, tell KDE Craft that when it builds Kate, it should not build from this version, but from this version, which you do by changing a setting, this thing. Let's do that. So craft -- set version equal master for Kate. Craft -- set version equal master, and then Kate. And now if we search for Kate again, it's going to say that if we want to build Kate, it's going to build the version master, not 2504.1. The next steps are to build and to package it. -- package. So this command. So this is it. This was how to create AppImage packages from KDE software. What you do for the given KDE project, you make sure it's available in KDE Craft. Not all of the KDE software is packaged for KDE Craft. If it's not, please help and add it. If the KDE package the KDE project is packaged for Craft, maybe it's packaged just for Windows or just for Android, not also for Linux AMD64. If that's the case, again, please do help. And if your KDE project can be built correctly using KDE Craft on Linux AMD64, then you have just one more step, which is to decide what version of an AppImage package you want to build. Maybe you want to build from Git master branch, maybe you want to build from a KDE source code release, and then run a command line like this, craft space -- package and the name of the package. It's going to create just one file inside ~/craft root/tmp directory, which is the AppImage that you want. It's already executable. You can just double click on it. Thank you.